Hey folks, Kent with EMS Blood Consultants. I'm here at EMS World and I want to show you the LifeFlow Infuser.
Hey guys, so LifeFlow is a rapid infuser that was designed specifically to be used in the field. So most of us right now are using gravity, extra gravity, or gravity in a pressure bag, blood pressure cuff to get volume into people when we're trying to resuscitate them. With LifeFlow, we wanted to give you something that gives definitive volume resuscitation super quickly but controlled. So the way the device works, comes kitted all together and you set it up like a standard IV. So I've got the LifeFlow Plus here, which is our blood tubing. So I've got the ability to do whole blood, packed red cells, or plasma, or any crystalloid. You set the top half up like a regular IV. So I've got my bag spiked here for a transfusion. Clamps are closed. I'm going to come down here and just start priming real quick. So you fill both chambers up with fluid. The reason we do that is because we move fluid so fast, we don't want any cavitation or air bubbles. So prime the whole thing. When I get it primed to that point, I'm going to come down to the distal end here. The way this works, really, in the middle of the tubing set, I've got a 10 ml syringe and a stopcock with one-way valves. So if you've ever done push-pull, like on pediatric patients, where you're pulling from the bag, turn, push to the patients, that's really how LifeFlow works. We just added one-way valves, so it is totally automatic. No valve, nothing to turn back and forth, and you just drop everything in. So now that I've got the top half of the tubing primed, I'm going to grab my handle. I'm going to open, drop the syringe in, and I'll prime the rest of my tubing by squeezing the handle. So this is where it becomes a super soaker. So I'm going to point it up to extract all the air. And in about 3 squeezes, I've primed the tubing. I'm ready to connect to my patient, and I infuse by squeezing the handle. So each full squeeze, 10 mLs to the patient. On a 20 gauge IV, this will let me deliver a unit of whole blood or 500 mLs of normal saline crystalloid in 2 minutes. So fast is good. If you've got a volume depleted patient in shock, not perfusing, we know every second they stay in that non-perfusing state, they're doing damage to all of their vital organs. We want to get them reperfused quickly. I'm not going to be dependent on a small IV and gravity or a pressure bag that I may or may not have inflated and reinflated. Each squeeze, though, is 10 mLs. So unit of whole blood in 2 minutes is great, but what if I've got a pediatric patient? I need to titrate that volume. You can't do that with a pressure bag. So on LifeFlow, say I've got a 22 kilo kid, I need the first 10 mils per kilo. Just so happens that that's a 10 ml syringe. 10 mils, 22 squeezes. I've got my first round of volume in, reassess the patient, see if it's doing what I need, quickly make a decision whether I move on to pressors or whether we're good to go with continuing volume resus. That's LifeFlow in a nutshell. Rapid, controlled volume resuscitation, quicker than a pressure bag, more controlled than a pressure bag, and able to provide that life-saving blood to your patients when every minute matters.